G'day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video we are going to take a look at the Special Pose category Super Battle Road stage. So this Super Battle Road stage is actually basically pretty much doable with, well, I mean it is doable with a free to play Ginyu Force team since they got their Easy A. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to run a entirely free to play. This is a team you can earn entirely in game, no summons needed, and use the Ginyu Force. So we only have the one Ginyu Force lead, that is the Tech Ginyu Force LR that you get from completing all the Ginyu Force units. You can buy additional copies from the Ultimate Clash shop. It's not really the greatest lead in the world, with a super low leader skill. So if you want to make this a little bit easier, and by a little bit easier I mean much easier, you can contemplate using the Super Saiyan Gotenks unit and using his leader skill for the Special Pose category if you have him, and you can just obviously continue to use all the Ginyu Force units and basically you should be fine. So in terms of the Ginyu Force, they're kind of like a hit hard not hit fast kind of team. So your tanky units are Raccoon and Captain Ginyu. Captain Ginyu has a lot of defense because of his damage reduction that he has when there is only, or when there's two enemies or more. So obviously Captain Ginyu is one of our tankier units. We can use the super attack foreseeing ability of Jace. We need to use the sealing abilities of Gilda and Captain Ginyu, who also seals to control the battlefield, and then yeah, we should be pretty good to go. The Tech Ginyu Force LRs generally do okay. They're honestly not that bad in this stage. They're like pretty usable. They take some damage, but they don't take a ridiculous amount of damage. I mean, you want to keep them floating because they don't really serve much more of a purpose than that, but they are generally okay in this battle. Obviously any N-type units will cause quite a bit of damage, as you can see there, like 50k. And then generally I try to keep Raccoon floating Berta floating as well. And I try maybe to push him onto main rotation at some points, just depending if you can get his evasion off or not. But yeah, we're going okay at this point, but the Ginyu Force is more of a, like I said, hit hard and fast kind of team. You don't generally have a massive amount of tanky units. I mean, as you can see here, we only really have Raccoon, Captain Ginyu, units like that to really tank things up. Raccoon is great, obviously Captain Ginyu great as well, but you know, we don't necessarily have a full tanky team the whole way through. Jace is surprisingly tanky, especially if you can get his super off first, because he will raise the attack and defense of himself, but he also double raises it because the super provides it to the rest of the rotation. So yeah, Jace is surprisingly tanky. Bert is great as a floater. The team overall has great synergy. Obviously they all share 3 to 4 links, which is pretty good. You just need to be aware, of course, also when you are switching through your units and things like that, when you do whittle down the enemy to one opposition like here, you do want to essentially obviously just be careful with Captain Ginyu. He will lose his damage reduction, so that is something to just be aware of. But beyond that, everything's pretty straightforward. We've obviously handled this first fight quite well. Remember that Jace lets us foresee where super attacks are, so it's pretty safe to obviously let Gilda, kind of get involved at this point. Safe to let him, get his attacks off. Gilda can also have a chance to stun, which is helpful, but he also debuffs the enemy, which is great. He does like a 20% attack and defense reduction, which, helps quite a lot. So that is pretty good. So in this situation we're only fighting one enemy. This is probably our worst situation, just because we obviously lose the damage reduction of Captain Ginyu, and we're also fighting a physical type unit, so it's not necessarily the greatest situation for Captain Ginyu. This would also be quite a tough fight if you do have the Int Gotenks. But the good thing about Int Gotenks, if you do use him, is that obviously using double Int Gotenks does give you that double floating stun from both of them, so you'd be able to float both into Gotenks, you'd be able to stun with both of them, and yeah, you would just obviously have an easier time. We're not too bad off here because we do get the seal from Captain Ginyu and from Gildo, so we do manage to obviously keep the Boo from, you know, firing off super attacks or anything like that, which is super helpful. And we can also obviously lower his attack and defense successfully if we apply, you know, Gildo's debuff and things like that. So you can see here, Jace also quite helpful. Obviously, just with the forcing super attacks, obviously he is sealed. But Jace being a strength type is going to help increase some of the damage payoff here. And just obviously allow us to get a little bit more damage in. And essentially try and control that side of things. So that's also very, very good. And you can see there Jace will do some good damage to him because he's strength type, but he'll also just buff the rest of the rotation, which is always super helpful. I can't stress how good Jace's attack and defense buffing on his super attack is. Really, really helps out with, you know, just essentially keeping the rest of the rotation at a healthy level of attack and defense. Berta does some pretty good damage. Gildo should get a stun. I think he gets a stun here. Yeah, he gets a stun. Gets the attack lowering. Gets the seal as well. Double super attack. Crit as well. You can see that the team is shucking out some really good damage. That's because they've got all pretty much crit builds. That just helps them deal out a lot of damage. Obviously their Easy A and their Easy A stats also help. Which, you know, we can't really complain too much about. So we've got him sealed up. We have control again over the situation, so yeah, we're looking pretty good at this point. We haven't really had too many problems, honestly. We're, you know, genuinely just like kind of cruising at this point without jinxing anything. Obviously we complete the battle because I'm showing you guys and I'm doing commentary over the video, but yeah, we are maintaining quite good control. The Ginyu Force team really has such great utility that it can constantly just keep a very, very high level of control, which, you know, is very impressive. It's honestly so great how much control they can exert in a fight like this. In the SBR, in ESBR and things like that, these guys are really good just because they all have debuffing, or they all have buffing, or they all have, you know, sealing, or they all have stunning, or they just provide a lot of utility. And even the units that don't, like Raccoon and Berta, still have gimmicks. You know, Raccoon, he's got a lot of strength. He's really good defensively. And then, of course, we have units like Berta, you know, who's got his evasion, which also is quite helpful. So, yeah, just obviously, like, this team has great synergy. The ability, the utilities are really coming into the fray, and we're really controlling things. We also do really well to get our Dokkan attack on the final stage, which speeds things up massively, and we were lucky to get that, but yeah, that always helps quite tremendously. So yeah, so far everything's working out perfectly as planned. You want to get the Dokkan attack with Ginyu. He's kind of got the highest attack stat out of all of the Ginyu Force units. So he's going to do some pretty good damage here against this trio of enemies. And then obviously I think in terms of threat, probably you want to focus in on the physical Goku last. I know technically, you know, we do have the in types in that, but yeah, I think Captain Ginyu is probably the unit we're not so worried about. We can quickly get rid of Android 17 because he's very low at this point, and then we do have Raccoon who can do some decent damage to the Vegeta as well. So I just think, yeah, we can leave Goku for last and then everything should be pretty good. You can see here Raccoon's tanking pretty well, which obviously does help us out, and we get the seal on Goku and the debuff, so Goku's not really a major concern at this point. We get the heal from the Dokkan attack, and right now we're sitting in a pretty good state. So yeah, we can check everyone's defense here. Berta, remember his evasion only activates if he's the first attacker, so in a situation like this, where he's not actually attacking first, the enemy is actually attacking first, Berta, you know, is only attacking afterwards. His evasion will actually only kick in when he attacks, so it's actually better to move him into the second slot here. That way he has better defensive capabilities, I want to say. So yeah, but beyond that, beyond Burton, the situation, we're sitting pretty good. We're not struggling too badly or anything. We've got a couple items left. We have very, very solid control of the fight. So for me, I think at this point, I don't want to say it's completely a wrap, but I definitely think we are completely in control, and we'll definitely get the victory. And yeah, everything's going, perfectly fine. Ideally, we would have liked to maybe get rid of Goku there. With Jace, maybe an additional attack or something like that would have helped out. But it's not really the absolute end of the world. If we can get rid of Goku, that would be great, and we did. Obviously Berta doing some really good damage. If you get orbs with Berta, he can do some really, really good damage, like quite sufficiently high levels of damage. So yeah, don't sleep on Berta. He may not seem so impressive, but he's got some great damage numbers. Probably consistently one of the second highest damage dealer on this team, which does help. You need damage from all kinds of sources, especially when you're running a team like this. So from that aspect, he really does help out. And now that we've taken out Goku, the number one threat is out. We can seal up Vegeta, which is good, because we don't want Vegeta to get an attack off, especially against our tech Ginyu at the back end there. Raccoon doesn't manage to finish him off just yet either. So yeah, it's very good that we sealed him up, because we definitely do not want him to dish out. As you can see, he did a lot of damage there. We took a bit of a gamble, but we kind of had to Android 8 to heal up, and we should be good to wrap everything up here. So yeah, it was a little bit of a gamble at the end, but overall I think everything went relatively smoothly. The free-to-play special pose run went really well, and yeah, honestly quite happy with how everything played out. So yeah, I think we wrap everything up here. Jace will finish off Vegeta, and then we only have the Android 17 left. Berta will not finish him, but I believe Gildo will, and that's it. So yep, pretty straightforward, a little bit tight, but everything worked out perfectly fine in the end. So yeah, that's going to be it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, leave a comment or a like if you did. But that's going to be it from me. Stay safe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, take care, and bye.